Welcome back to the RC Movement Podcast. This is episode 14. 8 reasons why you won't be achieving your goals this year. And don't worry, because I'm here, your coach, to help you get back on track. It's halfway through the year. So let's get those goals that were once such a strong reality at the beginning of the year. We're going to get them back on track with some very easy to implement strategies that you can use. Today's podcast is brought to you by The Lab Bangkok, Bangkok's premium boutique fitness studio. The Lab is Bangkok's original top boutique gym for functional movement, strength and conditioning training. With a team of Bangkok's leading fitness professionals, they provide personalized, knowledgeable support throughout your fitness journey. The Lab's coaches have extensive experience in improving fitness, weight loss and strength programs, along with nutritional and rehabilitation coaching. Following an initial consultation, they will match you with one of their training specialists to ensure that the right knowledge and care is provided, getting you to your goal and outcome that's desired. The Lab's range of services and packages are perfect for anyone seeking results from personal training, group fitness classes, or a specific program with a target in mind. If you want to have a friendly community and with a motivating and open bunch of people, the Lab is a place for you. And they look forward to welcoming you to one of their studios. They're also Thailand's first and only, at the moment, sustainable gym. At the Lab, they believe health is not just simply determined by the exercise that we do and the food that we eat, but by the environment we live within also. As one of the world's most polluted cities, living in Bangkok makes us directly responsible for living a more sustainable life. To the elimination of single-use plastics from their studios, their Train and Sustain campaign was born. The Lab's mission is to raise awareness about mindless plastic overconsumption within our community and encourage Bangkok's fitness scene to follow suit. As a collective, small changes and simple switches can forge a healthier city to live in. The Lab is turning 7 years old this July, and to celebrate the 7th year anniversary, they're having a special promotion for members and non-members from the 1st to the 7th of July. Members can enjoy 20% discount on group fitness and personal training, whilst anyone thinking about committing to their health for the first time or those that want to start getting more serious about their results can join at a special 50% discount on the first month membership and reset their goals. It's never too late. You can if for more information, you can contact the Lab. Inquiries at thelabbangkok.com. Wow, guys, can you believe next week is going to be July already? We're halfway through 2019. Time really does fly, doesn't it? And do you remember at the beginning of the year, maybe when the New Year's resolutions come around just after Christmas, and you get that inspiration to suddenly say, yeah, you know what? It's about time that I did this, and I really want to focus on my health this year, and I really want to lose those extra few kilos. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to kickstart that business startup that I always wanted to do, or just to save a little bit more money so that I can think about my retirement. Maybe it was a relationships goal, maybe a relationship goal, maybe you were looking for a perfect partner in your life. Whatever it was, have a think back now to the beginning of the year and think about what it was that you really wanted to achieve at the beginning of this year. How close are you to achieving it now? We're 7 months in now. How did you get on with those goals? Did you manage to achieve everything you set out, or are you on your way to achieving some of those goals that you set out? And if you did, I want to say massive congratulations. Keep up the momentum. It's incredible. And what else do you need to do to achieve those goals? Keep it going. That's great news. And if you didn't, that's okay too. There's still time to get back to losing those extra few kilos or taking that step forward with that new business idea. Whatever it is that you're ready to step up and do whatever it takes to do. And I've got you back with these 8 reasons why you potentially didn't manage to achieve your goals this year, and what you can do to get yourself back on track. So let's get straight into the mix of things. So step 1, the first reason why you haven't managed to achieve your goals this year so far is only 3% of people I think it's a crazy statistic, actually. Did you know that less than 3% of people actually write down their goals on paper, transcribe their goals out? I know, it's crazy, isn't it? So that kind of means that we're all, when it comes to like wanting to achieve something or strive towards something, we're all walking around completely blind without that constant reminder why we're doing it. It would be like taking a boat out to sea and without a compass and just go, yeah, let's just go sailing without actually having a real clear idea on where you want to go. Or a sports team starting the season with just to play and just for the fun of it. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with doing things just for the fun of it. And the fun of it is great. And that's kind of one of the reasons why fun will soon start to become boring and become a bit of a chore. When we don't have a really strong idea or a really strong vision behind it. So getting into the practice of writing down your goals, actually, and you can do it on your computer, or you can actually do it with a pen and paper, the old-fashioned way, like they used to do it. I really like this one, pen and paper, because it's using my body, using the physiology in the body. I start to gain more momentum with it. I start to create, and you can create drawings around it. I know some people who've got some incredible goal-setting pictures and goal-setting images that they do. They use different colored pens and they create shapes and they create their almost like their vision board of everything that's going to happen. They want to get in their lives. So they're kind of the places they want to go traveling, the people that they want to meet, the new learnings they want to get over the year, the amount of money that they want to save. All of these come in images and pictures, and the stronger we can create these images and pictures and have fun with it, the more it becomes a great experience of our lives. When it's been a great experience for our lives, it becomes part of who we are, part of our identity. So getting those goals down on writing is really important. So if you didn't take action and write down your goals on paper, let's do it now quickly. Let's just take that step there. What is your goal? What do you want to achieve it? Why do you want to achieve it? Write it down on paper now. Reason number 2, you didn't get clear on your outcome. Now this is really, really important. We all want to achieve goals, but it's not necessarily the goal that we want to achieve. It's or the outcome that we want to achieve. Yeah, say for example, you want $1 million. We don't necessarily want $1 million in our bank account to say $1 million. We want what $1 million will give us. We want that certainty. We want that freedom. We want that security with our friend, with our family, and with ourselves. We want that level of being able to have things that we've always wanted or we've always dreamed of. So it's not necessarily the outcome itself, it's what it will give us. We also need to get clear, so we need to get clear on the outcome. We also need to get clear on what pleasure it will give you, how much pleasure it will give you, and get very focused on the pleasure. You know, what benefits will you gain from it? What kind of level of confidence will you get once you achieve it? How much more time will you get with your loved ones? How much more? What will that level of security or certainty give you? That's just talking about finances. If it's in anything else in your life, how much confidence will it give you? How much momentum will it give you? What else will you be able to do? How will you feel emotionally? Create as much passion and as much pleasure around what the outcome will give you. And on the same side, the same token, we need to look at what it will cost you. This is a tough one. What is it going to cost you when you don't achieve your goals? And what's it going to cost you in 6 months' time? What's it going to cost you in a year's time? What about what it's going to cost you in 2 years' time? How will you feel emotionally? What were your relationships like? What were your stress levels like? How much regret will you have? Yeah, it's a pretty dark place to go down. We need to be sure that when moving towards our goals, it's outcome based, and we are absolutely clear on the consequences and the benefits both ways of what that goal is going to give us. Step number 3, it wasn't smart enough. Talk about SMART goals. Let's get clear on the abbreviation first. So SMART goal stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. It's really important to get clarity and make sure everything that we do is smart. I work with lots of clients in the coaching world and also in health and fitness who really have an idea about what they want to achieve, yet they somehow don't quite manage to achieve it because they don't know how. Number one, they don't have a specific outcome. Maybe they want to lose weight or they want to increase their personal growth, but specifically how? How much do you want to increase your personal growth? What is it you need to learn that would allow you to know that you've achieved personal growth? We need to make it measurable. We need to find a way to track. How will we know that we've achieved it? You want to become the most outstanding husband or outstanding coach in the world, or you want your business to be the most successful in your industry. How will you know that it's the most successful in the industry? What will you accept as evidence? We need a way of measuring it. Attainable. Is it an attainable goal for the time you want to set for it? We're going to get to time in a minute, but is it an attainable goal? Is it something that you can attain? And maybe it is something. If it's a big goal, big goals are great. Big goals are awesome, and it's also important to make sure that it's something that we know we're going to get at least close to, or at least succeed with the time and investment that we're going to put into it. Relevant. Is it relevant to your higher purpose? There's a lot of things I think that we do. We can get. There's so much noise out there, isn't there? In the industry, in our industries and social media, and our attention is constantly being split different ways. And if you're an entrepreneur, I find this with entrepreneurs as well, you have a lot of low-hanging fruit. There's a lot of great opportunities that I should go for this, and I want to go for that, and I want to go for this. And I see an opportunity here, and that's awesome. But we need to really make sure that it is relevant to your purpose. What is your purpose? Asking yourself, then chunking back up again. Well, what is my purpose as a human being? What do I want to achieve as a human? What's important to me? And is this particular goal match that level of value that I have? So making it attainable, making it relevant. And lastly, is making it time-based. Is it putting a time on when will you achieve this goal? Is it a 6-month goal? Is it a 1-year goal? Is it a 2-year goal? And if it is a 2-year goal, a 3-year goal, can you accelerate it? Always ask this question. We want to achieve things in a certain amount of time. We want to make them relevant. We want to make them attainable. What if we could get them earlier? What would happen if we managed to achieve this goal in half the amount of time? And somebody asked me a very cool question a little while ago, which got me thinking on this one. If somebody offered you $1 million in your pocket right now, or to give you 5 years of your time back with all the knowledge that you have right now, which one would be more interesting to you? Interesting dilemma, isn't it? So make it time-based. Once we've created SMART goals around our goal, we can make all of our actions SMART as well. So all of our actions towards that goal, we can make them specific actions, measurable actions, attainable, relevant, and time-based actions enough. Now that we know that we need to make our goal SMART, let's go back to number 1 and have a look at your goal. Is it SMART? Did you create it? Did you create a smart enough goal? Go back up to number 1 when I asked you to write down your goals on paper. Is it smart enough? Is it specific? Is it measurable? Is it attainable? Is it relevant and time-based for you? And if it isn't, off you go. You can do that now and then come back to the rest of the podcast. Step 4. Step 4 is focus. This is which gets a lot of people, is even though it's putting the focus in the right areas. And I know a lot of people who really want to set and achieve goals and really want to finally take the necessary actions to and momentum forward to achieve different goals, yet they're still scared of failing. How many of you listening to this podcast didn't write or set your goals for the sheer fear of potentially not achieving it? And it gets us, doesn't it? We're so scared of failing. We're so scared of rejection that we won't even. It will halt us and it will block us and it will create this huge obstacle to even take that step forward and write down a goal just because of the fear of failing. And yet we, in so many ways, we're massively hypocritical when it comes to this, aren't we? Because if we all have role models. We all have people that we idolize. We all have our heroes and our heroines out there who have done the incredible things that we want to achieve, who have inspired us since we were kids, and we've read their books and we've watched their TV shows, and they've achieved all this fame and fortune and wealth. And all we see in here is the iceberg effect. We think, yeah, Oprah can do it. Tony Robbins can do it. David Beckham can do it. I can't do it. You know, it's a different ballpark. And what we haven't seen, and what makes it what makes the gap so big, and what makes that gap look so big, is because we call it the iceberg effect. What we're seeing with our idols and we're seeing with our heroes and role models is we're seeing the finished product. We haven't seen the 25 years. The 17 hours a day's worth of work, the commitment, the hustle, the discipline, the coaching, and the strategy and the goal that they've put in place to get where they want to go. Successful people don't get successful by chance. There's purpose and there's intention behind it. There's a mission behind it. And it creates, unfortunately, with success, it creates this success and this level of people reaching this level of heroism or idolism. It breeds a level of us thinking we're not good enough, or us thinking we're not in that league, or us thinking that we're never going to achieve those particular accolades that our heroes have achieved. And it's just not true, because they've all been where we've been before once. So channeling our focus towards forgetting the fear of failure. We need to channel our forward, not forgetting the fear of failure. It still needs to be there, because having that fear is also a very powerful driver. But channeling our focus to our actions, channeling our focus to what we are doing, focusing on ourselves. And it's so difficult because there's so many distractions. Now has never been a harder time. Listen to me. Now has never been a harder time to achieve your goals. We are now living in the most convenient and most instant gratifying time of our lives. If you want to get high, you want a quick dopamine hit, go on social media and post something and get someone to like something for you. You don't even have to go meet somebody in person anymore. We live in a time of convenience. We live in a time of distraction. We live in a time of infinite noise and ways in which we can be derailed and pulled off our course. So we need to stay really laser focused on what it is we're trying to achieve. So we've got to start to block out all the crap that's not serving us. I've talked about this before. We've got to block out all the things that aren't helping us stay on track. The things aren't helping us stay positive. The things that aren't helping us take action towards our goal. We've got to start getting rid of all that stuff. We've got to start creating a smaller world that's more focused and focusing on the outcomes that we want to achieve when it comes to our goals. First thing you need to do is look at your social media and ask yourself, does this stuff, whatever I'm looking at or I'm being distracted by, is it making me feel good or is it making me feel shit? If it's making you feel shit, you've got to get rid of it and install it with smaller things that make you feel good. Okay. Step number 5. Reason number 5. You didn't share your goal with others. How selfish of you. Why wouldn't you do that? You didn't share it with your family. You didn't share it with your loved ones. You didn't share it with your friends. You didn't share it with your work colleagues. You didn't share it with your boss. You didn't share it with your colleagues. Why wouldn't you do that? There's a great saying, isn't there? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Sharing your goals, being transparent, telling people, breathe that level of excitement, breathe that level of inspiration with your colleagues, with your family, with your team, with your wife, with your husband. Tell them what you want to achieve. Tell them why you want to achieve it. There's nothing more inspiring than listening to somebody who has a dream that's going for your dream. Is there anything more inspiring? How many people do you think you'll be able to inspire when you tell them what it is you want to achieve? It's incredibly powerful. Be proud. Go with other people. Put yourself on the line. Put yourself out there. Let them know what it is you want to achieve. Step number 6. Fear of changing. Wow, this is a big one. Fear of changing. What is it that we have right now that you fear that you might lose when you achieve your goal? Wow, powerful. So that fear of saying goodbye to potentially having to say goodbye to the old you and stepping into this new identity of this person that's achieved a goal. What will you lose? What do you believe that you will lose that you have now if you achieve this goal? Maybe you believe that you might have to lose some potential people in your life. Maybe you might lose time. Maybe you might fear losing some. Maybe you might have to sacrifice. Maybe you might have to sacrifice some time sitting on the couch watching Netflix or playing that video game. Maybe it's something else. Maybe you might have to lose time if you're exercising hardcore and you're really pushing your workouts, yet you want to open up your business or you want to work on a relationship, you might think you have to sacrifice some time somewhere. So it's that fear of losing something that's made you who you are today or as part of you. Fear of change. What will you lose if you do achieve that goal? So I think it's important to notice if the reason that you're not working towards a goal right now, or you haven't achieved that goal at the beginning of the year, could be from some fear of change. What will you lose that you have now if you did achieve your goal? And is that true? Is it true that you are going to lose it? Where's the evidence? What else could it mean? Could be something to think about. Step number 7, scheduling time for your actions and making them non-negotiable. When we have goals, we're going to need to take necessary actions to achieve them. These actions are going to be new. They're going to be difficult. They're going to be tough. We have to schedule them into our diaries. Set time aside. I say this to my clients all the time. You need to create time blocks to create your time blocks. So that means setting a time to block out your time. Set an hour, not even that, maybe even need 30 minutes once a week, or an hour once a week, and you set out your goal, set out everything you need to do with your work, everything you need to do with your bread and butter. I say this first. Get your bread and butter fixed, get your relationship fixed, get your family time fixed, get all of that stuff fixed, and then find slots in between that to sit down and focus on your actions. Sit down and schedule those actions. And once they're in the diary, that's it. They've become real. You can't take those out of the diary because they're in now. So they become a non-negotiable. They become something that can't be moved. And I also encourage my clients to do that with their health and fitness. Put gym time in there. Put time to go to the gym in there. Make sure that's always in your schedule every week. So scheduling your actions and making them non-negotiable. And lastly, the pièce de la résistance, the 8th reason why you didn't achieve your goal. One of the reasons why you may have not achieved your goal this year is you want to be perfect. You want everything to be absolutely perfect. And if it's not perfect, you're not going to do it. This is one of the biggest causes of procrastination that there is. Perfectionism, one of the biggest killers of creativity, I would say. And it's that level of wanting to be perfect, not being able to do it right until everything is perfect. And let me ask you a question. What is perfect? How will you know that something's perfect? What will you take as evidence that this is perfect? How will you know that this is perfect? Because there's always going to be someone else that's going to do something that you like more. And you might have this perfect idea of this project that you're working on, and you'll spend time, you'll spend energy, you'll spend investment, and you'll be ready to put it out there. And then you'll see something else that somebody else has done that looks better, or is it slightly looks a little bit better to you, or it feels like it's a little bit more professional, or whatever it is. Procrastination is the biggest killer of creativity. It breeds a level of wanting to compare ourselves to others, or compare ourselves or someone else's expectation of you. And when we set these unrealistic and these unwarranted, unreasonable expectations on ourselves to be perfect, all we're doing is stopping ourselves. We're creating another reason why we shouldn't take the necessary actions or take the necessary steps towards achieving your goal. It's a bullshit excuse, to be fair. And we're never going to be perfect. Human beings are not designed to be perfect. And if we hold that level of expectation for ourselves and for everybody else around us, we're going to be in very big trouble very, very quickly. Let me tell you about a story about when I started to bring out this podcast, actually. And I first got the idea around about 12 months ago that I really wanted to get audible content out there. I'd written a book a few years back called Fit Pro to Profit, which is a essential guide to fitness professionals. And it was a really, really tough book to write. I'm not a very fast typer. And over the course of several years, I documented some tips and tricks for fitness professionals. And the whole process of writing a book was arduous. It was long. If you've ever written a book before, or if you've ever thought about writing a book before, I think it's an incredible thing to do. I have nothing more but utmost respect for people who write a book, because I know how tough it is. And I will eventually like to write another book. And what happened was I started to listen to not just write books. I started listening to a lot of audio. I started listening to audiobooks. I started listening to podcasts, and it got me realizing that, wow, you know what? Podcast is a great way to share information, share ideas, share skills, and share great information with people. And at the time I was getting lots of great information for some of my favorite podcast hosts. And I thought about starting my own podcast, and I looked at some of these people that, like your Joe Rogans and your Rich Rolls, who are my role models when it comes to podcasts. And I was thinking, I'm not going to be able to get a podcast to their standard, to their level out. So it kept blocking me, kept stopping me for 8 years. It was like a cock block for podcasts. It was a pod block, and I started to feel very deflated about the whole thing, very demotivated. And I started to question myself. I started asking all these crazy questions, like maybe I'm not enough for this, or maybe I'm not good enough at this, or maybe I'm not good enough for that. And it created this horrific spiraling negative thinking. And eventually it caused me not to start my podcast. So for a longest time, I didn't start. And then I finally spoke to someone who said that it's not about being perfect. Those guys don't, similar to what we talked about earlier about comparing ourselves to others and the iceberg effect. Those guys have been doing this sort of stuff for years and years and years. You don't have to be perfect when you start. You just need to start. And as you start, you learn. You're learning ways not to do something. You learn ways to do something. Hopefully you're going to get feedback from people. Hopefully you're going to be able to sit and look at what the work that you've done and look at it objectively and ask yourself the question of, is this good quality content, or do I need to start to change something? So it was just getting started. And once I got the first episode done, I was, okay, right, I can continue moving forward. And it just went on and on and on. And, now it becomes something that I really enjoy. And it's the same for not needing to be perfect. You just need to get going. You just need to start something. You look at anything that's worked, or anything that's out there, or any project, or any invention out there. It all started with a mistake. It all started with not being perfect. And through development and through research and through practice and consistency, we're able to find ways in which we can start to build momentum, start to move forward, start to take those first little baby steps, get the wins, get the confidence, get the belief that we can achieve this goal. So just got to get started, guys. So how does everyone feel with what we shared so far? They're the 8 reasons why you haven't been achieving your goals this year. And let's just summarize everything so far that we've covered. So we're now halfway through the year. Remember some of those goals that you set in January? Well, I'm here to tell you it's never too late to get started again. First thing you need to do is set some time aside today. When better time to set time aside and do it than right now? Not now, but right now. Set some time aside today. You only need an hour of your time to write your goals and to be in the top 3% of people out there who are succeeding and getting where you want to be. Write down your goal. Get clear on your goal. Why do you want to achieve it? What will it give you? Get some emotion around it. Step 2, make sure it's SMART. So if you've written down your goal, go back up to the top, make sure it's SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. Step number 3, focus on the result. Do whatever it takes to get focused on the result. If you need to input some new highly successful habits in your life, you need to get rid of some old detrimental habits in your life, do it. Or you can contact me and I can help you with that. Step number 3, I'm more than happy to speak to my listeners. So if any listeners out there, you want to know how to get rid of some old detrimental habits that aren't serving you want to input some new habits, give me a call, let me know, send me a message on Instagram or Facebook, or email me through this channel. I'll be more than willing to help you. Get focused on the results. Share it with your friends and your family. There's nothing more inspiring than somebody than meeting somebody with dreams and with goals. And you might get a chance that you can not just achieve the goals for yourself, but also inspire others to take action on their goals. Share it with your friends, share it with your family. Get a coach and make it public. Next is embrace the change. It's time for a fresh new chapter. Leave the old you behind and step into this new you who's doesn't have fear of change, who's embracing who they are and moving forward with intentions. Number 7, schedule time for your actions and make them non-negotiable. Put them in your diary. When they're in your diary, they have to happen. And lastly, number 8, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to get started to build momentum. Once you're in that momentum, you're going to start to build that new level of confidence. With every new level of confidence comes a new level of belief. Get going on it. Do it. I know you can do it. I believe in you. They're the 8 reasons why you haven't achieved your goal this year, and it's never too late to get back started. If you are ready to get clear on your goals or to get back on track with your goals this year, I'm actually offering a free strategy session for all my listeners. Our high-performance coaching program is designed to help you get clarity on all the areas of your life, from personal growth to your career, to your level of confidence, to relationships, your belief, your finances, your health. Any element of life that you want to work on, coaching is a proven method to increase your chances of success with anywhere from a 200 to 500% return of investment. If you'd like to book your free strategy session, you can contact me directly at info@rcmovement.com or visit our website directly, www.rcmovement.com. Please don't forget, if you enjoyed the podcast today, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also share with your friends. Give them the 8 reasons why their goals haven't been achieved. Inspire yourself and inspire others to live the best versions of their lives. Now, what I want you to do is just to take a moment. Think about that goal that you wrote at the beginning for a second. Write down the goal that you wrote down on paper during this podcast. And what I'm going to do is I want you to, as you think about that goal, close your eyes and bring up a picture. Have you got a picture? Awesome. Now make that image bright and colorful. Really bring it to life. That's it. Make it a little bit bigger. Make it panoramic. Or put it in a frame. That's all right. Awesome. Now make the colors brighter. Make them more vibrant. Turn it into a movie. See yourself in the image. Are you walking through somewhere, or are you looking through your own eyes? Either way is okay. And as you brighten and intensify that image, what do you hear in the background? What do you say to yourself? What are people saying to you? What's the environment like? What can you hear? What kind of tone of sound is it? What feelings are associated to this image? Are you feeling calm? Are you feeling confident? Are you feeling passionate? Are you feeling motivated? Good. Now double the intensity on it. Make it stronger. Take it from a level 4 and turn it up to a level 8. Brilliant. Now take it from a level 8. Get that feeling and double it. Put it through to a level 16. That's right. And then as you're at level 16, I know you can want to dial up that knob and push it to level 20. Let it overtake you. Let it fill you up. Yes. Awesome, guys. Now, as you keep that vision and you keep that picture in mind, lock it into place. Hold that into place. That's your image now. Channel all your focus and your attention towards that image, and give yourself and your family the results that you deserve and the outcome that you want, because you know how much pleasure it's going to give you. And I know that you're willing to do whatever it takes to step up and step into this new image. Thanks so much for joining in to episode 14. I hope you've enjoyed the episode today. And if you've got any feedback or you want to contact us for that free strategy session, please feel free to reach out. And as always, with passion, with health, it's Rich.